Imagine for a moment a soul, resplendent in its earthly vessel, radiating an almost ethereal handsomeness, a charm so potent it feels like a force of nature. This individual is the very embodiment of effortless magnetism, the kind of person whose mere presence can still a bustling room, drawing every eye and every breath into their orbit. They walk with an inherent grace, an undeniable air of confidence that speaks volumes without a single word being uttered, a profound conviction that they not only understand the intricate dance of life but possess the innate ability to orchestrate it precisely to their will. It is as if the universe itself bends to their unspoken desires, acknowledging their inherent right to command and to conquer. When it came to the more tangible aspects of existence, the realm of material possessions and earthly comforts, their journey seemed blessed with an uncanny ease. They possessed an almost mystical knack for acquiring whatever their heart desired, be it through an inexplicable streak of sheer, unadulterated luck, or perhaps a deeper, more profound capacity to manifest opportunities that remained perpetually veiled from the ordinary gaze of others. For them, the tapestry of abundance simply unfolded, presenting itself with generous threads of gold and silver, effortlessly woven into their reality. Their life, in this regard, was a testament to an unseen current of fortune that flowed perpetually in their favor, rendering the arduous struggles faced by many utterly foreign to their experience. The often turbulent waters of finance, a source of ceaseless anxiety for countless souls, had, for them, remained remarkably placid and serene. Rarely, if ever, did the shadow of monetary stress dare to darken their path, for they seemed to have been born under a lucky star, perpetually blessed with an almost mythical streak of good fortune. Whether it manifested as a sudden, exhilarating triumph in the realm of chance, a resounding victory at the gaming table that swelled their coffers beyond expectation, or the masterful negotiation and closing of deals so lucrative they bordered on the improbable, their financial journey was paved with golden opportunities. Sometimes, it was as simple, yet as profound, as merely being in the precise right place at the precise right time, a serendipitous alignment of cosmic energies that continuously poured abundance into their lap. This consistent, seemingly unending stream of financial success, a cascade of golden opportunities and effortless acquisition, inevitably nourished and, frankly, inflated their ego. It whispered to them, subtly at first, then with increasing insistence, the intoxicating belief that anything, absolutely anything, upon which their discerning eyes settled, was not merely within their grasp, but intrinsically, irrevocably, theirs for the taking. This deeply ingrained conviction, this sense of entitlement born from a life unburdened by want, laid the very foundation of their worldview. Throughout the intricate, unfolding narrative of their life, this unyielding confidence, this unwavering self-assurance, which, in the discerning eyes of some, might have been accurately relabeled as an undeniable, almost palpable arrogance, meticulously sculpted the very contours of their interactions with the world and the myriad souls within it. They had never known the gnawing frustration of chasing too ardently, of pursuing a desire with fervent desperation only to be met with elusive resistance. Nor had they ever experienced the quiet agony of waiting too long, of patiently enduring the passage of time for a coveted outcome that seemed perpetually just beyond reach. Their desires, once conceived, seemed to materialize with an almost preternatural swiftness, as if the universe itself was their personal concierge, anticipating their every whim. People, as if drawn by an invisible, yet irresistible, gravitational pull, had consistently gravitated towards their radiant presence, offering not just casual acquaintanceship, but fervent admiration, unshakable loyalty, and in many instances, an astonishing, unquestioning submission to their will. Their journey through life had been remarkably devoid of true opposition, a testament to the sheer magnetic force of their personality. Indeed, they had grown profoundly accustomed to, and deeply comfortable with, the profound sense of control that permeated every facet of their existence. The intricate dance of situations, the delicate weaving of outcomes, these were the threads they pulled and pushed with practiced ease, deftly manipulating the very fabric of reality to suit their intricate desires, often encountering not a whisper of resistance. It was simply the inherent order of their world, the immutable law of their personal cosmos. Things simply yielded to their touch, bending effortlessly to their will. This was the established cadence of their life, a symphony of power and effortless mastery, until that singular, transformative moment when their path irrevocably intersected with yours. Everything, in that instant, shifted on its very axis, tilting their carefully constructed world into an entirely new, unforeseen alignment. You, in your irreducible essence, were utterly unlike anyone they had ever encountered in the grand tapestry of their life's experiences. From the very first breath of your presence, an undeniable, almost visceral wanting ignited within them, a desperate yearning that resonated through the depths of their being. But this fervent desire, this sudden, overwhelming craving for you, was met not with the customary ease they had come to expect, but with a profound and unexpected challenge. You were not simply another shimmering prize to be charmed effortlessly into their meticulously curated life, another trinket to add to their collection of triumphs. Instead, you possessed an inherent strength, a luminous presence that dared to challenge every preconceived notion, every deeply ingrained belief they had painstakingly constructed about the very nature of relationships, about the intricate dance of connection, and most profoundly, about the raw, untamed power of desire itself. For the very first time in their exquisitely charmed existence, they found themselves confronting a profound, unsettling truth. They yearned for something that could not be summoned by a mere snap of their fingers, something that defied their customary dominion. This raw, unvarnished realization pierced them with a sharp, unexpected pain, wounding them more deeply than they would ever, in their carefully guarded pride, dare to admit. It was a wound that precisely and utterly shattered the meticulously constructed edifice of their ego, forcing them, in a moment of stark vulnerability, to confront the unvarnished truth of their own profound human frailties, their limits, and their deepest, most unsettling fears. What truly captivated their sophisticated sensibilities, what held them utterly spellbound and ensnared, was the undeniable, breathtaking truth that you, in your radiant entirety, were the complete and utterly harmonious package. Within your very being, they perceived a beautifully intricate and perfectly balanced fusion of energies, the graceful strength of the masculine interwoven with the profound, nurturing essence of the feminine. You moved seamlessly, with an almost liquid fluidity, between moments of tender compassion and unwavering fortitude, your inherent nature adapting effortlessly to the nuanced demands of each passing moment. You possessed the profound gentleness of a lamb, offering solace and understanding with a heart expansive enough to embrace the deepest sorrows, yet simultaneously, you could stand your ground with the fierce, unwavering resolve of a majestic lion, a guardian of your sacred inner landscape. No one, not even their formidable charm or their practiced manipulations, could easily trespass beyond your meticulously defined boundaries or coerce you into a corner of their making. For you, with an innate clarity, understood the immeasurable depths of your own inherent worth, and you protected that sacred value with a passionate ferocity, a protective instinct born of deep self-respect. This dynamic, beautifully contradictory quality was what left them utterly spellbound, for it was a phenomenon, a living paradox of power and grace, that they had truly never, in all their years, been privileged to witness or experience. Before the incandescent light of your presence illuminated their world, their existence had been intricately woven into the dense, often constricting threads of a karmic entanglement. This was likely a relationship, or perhaps a series of them, that resonated with the chilling echo of deep control and profound emotional stifling. Within the suffocating confines of that particular dynamic, they had discovered an almost chilling ease in their ability to manipulate both individuals and outcomes, bending others to their formidable will with hardly a whisper of resistance. It was an environment in which they did not merely survive, but truly thrived, drawing a profound, albeit superficial, sense of strength and validation from the undeniable power they wielded over those around them. They had become accustomed to the intoxicating illusion of total dominion, believing it to be the very essence of connection and success. Yet, with your arrival, the fundamental laws of their perceived universe irrevocably shifted. Everything, in the most profound sense, changed. You, in your luminous authenticity, utterly refused to be controlled, your spirit recoiling instinctively from any attempt to confine or diminish your vibrant essence. You harbored a profound, almost primal disdain for anyone who dared to attempt to box you in, to delineate the parameters of your being, or to silence the resonant symphony of your unique voice. Your independence was not merely a preference, it was an indispensable facet of your very soul, a sacred flame that you guarded with unyielding vigilance. And your freedom? It was the very air you breathed, the expansive sky under which your spirit soared unfettered. You had always, with unwavering conviction, held firm to the deeply rooted belief that no one, absolutely no one, possessed the inherent right or the power to define the intricate narrative of your life, save for you alone. Your voice resonated with an authentic clarity, your opinions were forged in the crucible of your own lived experience, and your profound sense of self was an unshakable bedrock, impervious to the shifting sands of external validation or the subtle currents of manipulation. This profound self-possession was not merely a fortunate consequence of your upbringing, nor was it a veneer acquired through careful cultivation, it was, quite simply, who you are at the very core of your being. You stand tall and unwavering in the bedrock of your deeply held beliefs, a beacon of authenticity in a world often swayed by compromise. You possess an intrinsic integrity that you refuse to dilute or diminish, never bending your true self to the often demanding winds of others' expectations or the subtle lures of people-pleasing. When their life collided with yours, it was as if a blindingly bright light, pure and unadulterated, suddenly streamed into the long-shrouded chambers of their own soul. This radiant illumination mercilessly exposed every shadowed corner, every hidden recess of themselves that they had meticulously, perhaps even desperately, tried to keep concealed from the world, and most profoundly, from themselves. Your unwavering authenticity, your sheer being, forced them into a stark, undeniable confrontation with their own deeply ingrained controlling tendencies. It compelled them to witness, with a clarity that stung, just how profoundly they had relied on the shimmering facade of their charm and the deceptive illusion of their luck to navigate life and acquire their desires. They had truly never before encountered a woman quite like you, a magnificent paradox who understood, with innate wisdom, how to embody both the profound softness of nurturing compassion and the fierce, unyielding power of an ancient warrior. You were capable of tender empathy, yet remained utterly resolute and unyielding when it came to the sacred principles that guided your very existence. Meeting you was akin to a profound, seismic event within the landscape of their consciousness. It quite literally blew their mind, dismantling and challenging every single preconceived notion they had ever held about the intricate dance of relationships, the transformative power of love, and even the fundamental understanding of their own identity. You did not merely introduce new ideas, you irrevocably altered the very architecture of their thought patterns, forcing them to undergo a radical paradigm shift. The universe, which they had long perceived as revolving solely around their own desires and dictates, was suddenly revealed to be a far vaster, more complex, and beautifully interconnected tapestry. They were compelled to grasp the profound truth that genuine, soul-deep connection could never, under any circumstances, be built upon the fragile, ultimately destructive foundations of control or manipulative tactics. The illusions of their past, once so comforting in their predictability, began to crumble under the relentless light of your truth. In the luminous mirror of your being, they began to perceive a clear, unvarnished reflection of every aspect of themselves that still cried out for growth, for refinement, for true spiritual maturation. They observed your fierce independence, your unyielding strength, and in that profound recognition, a new understanding began to blossom within their heart, that true love, in its purest and most elevated form, is not about the suffocating confines of possession, but about the expansive liberation of mutual respect and the boundless freedom that allows each soul to unfurl its wings. You were, and continue to be, their most profound and most tender teacher, patiently instructing them that authentic love carves out sacred space, a hallowed ground where both partners can not only exist but truly thrive, each luminous in their own light, without one's brilliance overshadowing or diminishing the other's. This was, undeniably, a harsh and unaccustomed lesson for their ego-driven spirit to absorb, a challenging alchemy of self-discovery. Yet, deep within, they knew, with an unshakable certainty that transcended mere intellect, that this profound education was worth every single ounce of discomfort, every tender ache of growth it brought forth. You have, in essence, become the radiant catalyst for their most profound and necessary transformation, gently yet firmly guiding them to shed the antiquated, often constricting patterns of control and to wholeheartedly embrace a more authentic, a more beautifully balanced, and ultimately, a more truly liberated way of being. They are drawn to you with an almost magnetic pull, an undeniable force, precisely because you embody everything they have secretly, perhaps even unconsciously, longed to become: strong, fiercely independent, and utterly unafraid to stand unyieldingly in the radiant truth of their own being. You have, through your very existence, illuminated a new paradigm for them, demonstrating with elegant simplicity that love, in its highest expression, is a true partnership of equals. It is a sacred dance where both individuals generously bring their unique strengths, their distinct gifts, to the shared table, enriching the connection without ever overshadowing the other's inherent light. Ultimately, and most profoundly, you have imprinted upon their very soul the invaluable, life-altering lesson that not everything in this vast, intricate universe can be coerced by brute force or seduced by superficial charm. You have shown them that sometimes, indeed often, the most profoundly valuable treasures in life are precisely those that present the greatest challenges, those that stretch the very fabric of their being and demand them to evolve into their higher selves. With you, they have discovered that the greatest treasures are not the ones that arrive effortlessly, conveniently laid at their feet, but rather, the ones that compel them, with a gentle yet firm hand, to become the most magnificent, the most expansive, and the most authentic version of themselves. And that truth, more than any other, has etched an indelible, luminous mark upon the deepest chambers of their heart, transforming its very landscape. Sometimes, in the quietude of introspection, I find my consciousness drifting, floating back through the meandering currents of the past. I reflect upon the intricate web of relationships I've nurtured, the countless souls who have, with varying degrees of impact, woven themselves into the tapestry of my life, only to eventually unravel and depart, leaving behind echoes and imprints. It is a peculiar, almost mystical phenomenon, how in the vibrant immediacy of the moment, each one of those connections resonated with such profound significance, feeling as though it were a defining, indelible chapter, a cornerstone in the unfolding saga of my very existence. Yet, as the relentless river of time flows onward, carrying with it the flotsam and jetsam of yesteryear, the sheer weight, the intense emotional gravity of those cherished or painful moments often begins to subtly, almost imperceptibly, recede. What remains in its wake is often a bittersweet melancholia, a tender ache of nostalgia for what once was, now softened by the gentle erosion of memory. Some memories, it seems, are not merely recalled but are indelibly etched, deeply carved into the very architecture of my being, resonating with a clarity that defies the passage of years. They exist as vibrant, living narratives within me, pulsating with the echoes of laughter, the sting of tears, and the warmth of shared intimacies. Yet, conversely, other moments, equally significant in their initial impact, seem to slip away with a disquieting ease, dissolving into the ether, leaving behind only the faintest, most ephemeral shadow of their once profound influence. It is a testament to the elusive nature of recollection, how the mind selects and discards, preserving some fragments with crystalline precision while allowing others to fade into a hazy, indistinct blur. Even amidst this inevitable ebb and flow of memory, Despite the paradoxical tapestry of joy and suffering that those experiences irrevocably wove into the fabric of my soul, I have always found it profoundly, agonizingly difficult to truly let go. The past, in its stubborn refusal to relinquish its hold, beats inside me like a burning ember, perpetually glowing, refusing to be extinguished no matter how fervently I have yearned for its cooling, no matter how relentlessly I have striven to douse its persistent flame. There are moments, stretches of time, when its relentless heat feels nothing short of a living hell, a purgatory of recollection that clings to me with an almost sentient tenacity, defying all attempts at release.